Welcome back to the Reading save. Now, we are literally at the very end of Season 5, but what I'm going to do is we are going to... How do we resign? There we go. We're going to resign from our position as Reading manager. What? Why? We've handed in our resignation. I've never seen this. We would really like you to reconsider and stay with us for the foreseeable future. Hold on, what is this all about? Right, I don't think they're going to do this, but I'm going to say build a new stadium. We'd be more than happy to investigate. What has happened? The board have agreed to build a new stadium. What do I do in this situation? This is not what I want to happen at all in this video. I can still resign. I feel like I might need to. Right, there we go then. So the resignation has finally been tendered. I have saved that game, by the way, because I'm now intrigued to see whether they actually do build me a new stadium. I'm going to just holiday that off. You might see that later on in this video. I don't know. Maybe a little teaser. Not a clue. But we have resigned from Reading. We are now going to holiday forward 5 years into the future to see what happens to this Reading side. We might even do more. Who will take over? Patrick Vieira, Omri Belazoglu, or Russell Martin? Oh, okay, it's a very kind of variety of different managers there. And who has left with me? A whole bunch of people who you've probably never even seen or heard of. Right, let's holiday 5 years into the future and see what happens. Here we are then. It's the 31st of May 2033. 5 years have passed since we have left Reading. What state are the club in? First of all, we're going to click the English Premier Division, and I don't expect to see them there. Where are they? Man City, Liverpool, no. They have been relegated, which is no surprise to anybody whatsoever. Where are they in the Championship? Are they in the Championship? They are ninth place. Not ideal, but still in kind of not awful. They're not down to League One, put it that way. Currently managed by Olof Mellberg. Still have Ronnie Edwards and Liam Delap at the club. That's fair enough. That's pretty interesting. Right, let's just click overview, see how they have done. So, we left that season. We left there. 10th place is where we finished. They immediately got relegated the next year. Then they won the league. Then they got relegated. And then they finished 9th. So they've kind of turned into, I guess, probably the West Brom, which I guess is kind of an old trope now, isn't it? But they've turned into that team, a bit of a yo-yo club at the moment, which is fine. That's way better than I thought they would be. I thought they would have got relegated, finished mid-table, and then be maybe sat sort of 17th to 20th in the Championship. The fact that they managed to get themselves back up is quite good. Right, managers-wise. Who took over from us? So, we left, and they had Messe Dego? Who's Messe Dego? He's a 47-year-old, or now 47-year-old Israeli, with one under-21 cap to his name. He's the current, I assume, Maccabi Haifa manager. And he left us to go to Reading. Left them to go to Reading. Got sacked, went to Ipswich, went to Gateshead. It's a bit of a strange career. It's a bit of a strange appointment, if I'm honest. He was in charge for half a year. That was it. That was all he was in charge for. And then, obviously, I think he was kind of a contributing factor to them getting relegated. Then we had Sergej Jakirovic, who is a 56-year-old Bosnian, who's now currently manager of Blackpool. So he was here for a couple of years. Milestones, can we see what milestones you did? I assume you got them, so you got them relegated technically, but then you got them promoted, and then you got them relegated again, and then you got sacked. You actually got sacked on Boxing Day, so you got relegated, and then stayed half a season, and then got sacked eventually. Fair enough. And then Michaeli Ligertwood came back in. Zeljko Sopic, who is a Croatian, who is currently the manager of Tranmere. Fair enough. What did you get up to? You took over the job, and then you performed poorly, and then you left. So that says to me that they don't want to be finishing mid-table in the Championship. Sopic kind of took that one on the head there, and then Olof Mellberg has come in, who Mellberg, by the looks of it, has just left Southampton, which, what did he do there? He just didn't do very well at Southampton, and then came in as the Reading manager in the summer. So he's not been here for very long. So Olof Mellberg is now the man to take Reading forward for the next couple of seasons. He should get them promoted. So then, players who are at the club still that we recognise. There will probably be some names here that you might not recognise, but I will. Obviously, Boyce Clark was our number one goalkeeper. He's still very good. He's still there. He's on £105,000 a week in the Championship. I barely pay that for Premier League players. £105,000 a week. You've got match highest earner clause. That's probably what's killing it, because they probably brought somebody in who was getting paid silly money, and Boyce Clark just took a massive pay bump. They've still got Chidi Uche as well, who I'm surprised he's still there. He looks good. He should be playing more regular football. At 24 years of age, 24 caps for Nigeria as well. He should be playing football. We know Ronnie Edwards is still there. Obviously, we signed him in the last season. Now 30 years of age. He's pretty good. He's on 53 grand a week as well. That's a lot. But he's arguably turning into a Reading legend somewhat. 132 appearances for the club. Looking through the list, there's not a huge amount of names. Victor Cruz is still there as well. I'm surprised by that one. He's very good. He's wanted by Villa, Chelsea and West Ham, which I assume are probably all sort of Champions League, maybe Europa League teams. So Victor Cruz ain't sticking around for too much longer, but he's getting very, very good. Samuel Dozie is still there at 30 years of age, transfer listed for £21 million. You'd be very lucky to get anywhere near that, I think. But Dozie's still there, 156 appearances, 19 goals. I think that was a good bit of business. It was steep, okay? £14 million was pretty steep. When they got relegated, he didn't play. Why did he not play? Mansouri is still there as well, 24, couple of caps, or 7 caps, sorry, for Algeria. He is out of contract in 30 days. So we are going to be losing Mansouri from Reading, which is a shame. I think he had some potential. He just never really kind of hit the ground running. He probably needed to be playing a lot more football than what he was playing. I think Mansouri might be a late bloomer. And we've also got Liam Delap still at the club at 30 years of age, 107 league goals in 266 appearances. Liam Delap's good, isn't he? He was just a very good signing. I mean, season 1, 41 goals in 44 appearances was madness. And then, that's a weird season. 8 goals in 39 starts in the Championship. You'd expect that to be like 25 goals. There we are. So this was our last season when it comes to transfers in charge. So Wilson, Esbrand, Maleka, Larios, Uche, Laurent, players like that all joining the club. And in fact, that was when we had Victor Cruz join the club. Akram Saidi, what happened to you? Sheffield United, 25 years of age now. Looks pretty good, doesn't he? Doesn't look as good as I thought he'd get, but he still looks pretty good. Nick Dix. I remember Nick Dix. He's now at Bradford. He's not very good. Right, so moving forward to the next season. So this was a Championship season by the looks of it, and they spent £51 million, which is stupid. It's a silly amount of money to spend in the Championship, but that's what they did. So Abdul Hamid Mansouri went out on loan. Anyone else? It doesn't really look like much else happened. Frederick Nissen went to Roma? Derby? Where did he go? He went to Roma for £1.3 million. Other than that, no one left the club. No big name players left the club. They brought in Carlos Borges for £5.25 million, which is a good signing in the Championship. They did spend £13 million on this man, who, okay, fair enough, good signing. Into the next season, and this, I believe, is a Premier League season, so they got promoted, and then this was kind of, they wanted to stay in the league, and they spent £64 million on Julian Ponsiu from Southampton, who is an Angolan. I guess at the time he was probably 28, 29 years of age. So it's not as ridiculous, but it's a lot of money. That's a stupid amount of money to spend on one player. So looking at the players leaving the club, we've already seen Sadi, who moved on to Sheffield United. Anyone else that I want to take a look at? Kozlov's £28.5 million to Newcastle. He's very good. He's ridiculous, in fact. 24 years of age, 27 England caps and 2 goals as well. I mean, our scouts did well to find this guy. What else have we got? Kiddo Taylor-Hart, £6.75 million to Watford. Actually, doesn't look any different than what he was when we had him. He's not a bad footballer. Okay, he's a weird one. When you look at his attributes, doesn't look very good. But for some reason, just puts in performances. Just does quite well. I think that's it for this season. So the next season, I think this is, once again, back down in the Championship. So they signed a player for £6 million, which is a lot of money for a Championship side to spend, but fair enough. They've sold anyone that we recognised. No one at all. Carlos Pena for £47 million. The Colombian left-back. He's not a left-back, guys. He's a left-winger. Don't try and reverse Gareth Bale him. He's a left-winger. I've just seen how much money he's on. He's on £375,000 a week. That's madness. That is absolute madness. For any footballer to earn that much money is madness. They're not even in the Champions League. Right, another season and another bunch of players. So, Offenborough, 33 years of age now, signed over for Aberdeen. Anyone else? Larios for £6 million to Watford. Not very good, is he? He just doesn't seem to get much game time, doesn't really get much better. No one else there that we signed. So, the final season, anyone else leaving the club that we managed to bring in. It does not look like it, does it? Does not look like it at all. So there's a lot of players that probably would have got released. And now I'm concerned because I feel like a lot of the best players that we had probably got released. So, Lei, what happened to you, mate? Henderson Eels. Okay, you went to, I think they're in Solomon Islands, aren't they? Yes, they are. So you've gone to the Solomon Islands. Fair enough. Anyone else? Brooke Norton-Cuffy. Did he get better? He's at Blythe Spartans. He's at Blythe Spartans. This is starting to show me what a ridiculously good job we did to finish 10th in the Premier League with Brooke Norton-Cuffy. Basil Chuma is a free agent. He was last playing for Lowestoft in the Vanarama North and Hitchin in the Vanarama North. He scored goals in the Championship for fun. Into the next season, we've got Wilson Esbrand at Harrogate in the Vanarama National League North. Nope, just the Vanarama National League. We've got Mika Hamilton, Scott Banks. What happened to you? You're at Rangers. Okay, Scott Banks is not a bad one. Right, first success. Scott Banks, he's at Rangers. He's gone to Preston. Not a terrible signing. Mika Hamilton, what happened to you? You're a free agent who went to Solihull Moors. How are we getting 200 appearances out of Mika Hamilton and then we leave the club and he signs for a Vanarama national side? How have we managed to do that? Moving forward a couple more years, Carney Chukwuemeka left on a free transfer as well. He's moved over to Bristol City. He's looked very good, doesn't he? I feel like Chukwuemeka was kind of a victim of circumstance. We brought him in because he was a good footballer but did not fit the system. Because he didn't fit the system, he just never really played for us. He did get 133 appearances in the end, though, over 2 seasons in the Championship, but still. And that actually looks like it. There doesn't seem to be many more players, or any more players, that we managed to bring in who kind of are still knocking about the club, or have just been released by the club. I mean, what do we take from this? We did okay. We got them there. Okay, we got them there. They've managed to win the league on merit. Fair enough. I'm happy for you. Good job. Well done. You've got 3 championships now to your name. But should they be higher? Should they be higher than what they currently are? So just looking at their history, I've just seen. So they were relegated. So where did we leave? We left around here somewhere. Promotion from the Championship, and then we got relegated. So we left kind of here time. And then they got relegated. Stadium got made bigger. Ronnie Edwards was captain, got promoted as champions. Fair enough. Youth category went up, got relegated. Youth category went down. And then Jack Powell leaves and Phil Boyle is a tycoon. So does that mean Reading are minted? Are they like billionaires now? Can we find out? I don't have any editor or anything I can actually check. It says down here finances are okay. But the fact that they have a tycoon takeover last season? Was that this season here? I mean, that might explain why they spent £40 million, because they've had a tycoon takeover. So I've just been looking through a bunch of their players and trying to kind of get a picture of how their squad looked. And I think there's 4 players. Arguably, there's a lot more than 4 players, but there are 4 players who are probably the best players that they've got in the squad at the moment. Victor Cruz is number 1. He is by far and away the best player that they have. He's just superb. And at 23, still plenty of time to grow as well. And obviously, this is a player that we signed from a club that I always look at. Academia Lobito is a team that you want to be checking if you want to sign Angolan footballers. Another player who is just ridiculously good is Kanaya Boyce-Clark. I think he's probably near his peak. And I don't think he'll ever leave Reading. I feel like he has no need to leave Reading with that match hire earner clause anyway. He's just picking up money for fun. But he is probably their best goalkeeper, which is sad because Uche, I think, has loads of potential. He's just never going to get it because Boyce-Clark is just better than him. Now, even though this player doesn't fit the bill of what I would like, we have Ajat Mahendra, who is a Dutch-Indonesian attacking midfielder, is what I'd call him, which obviously is a position that I never seem to play, but he is very, very good. I think for the money they spent on him as well, which wasn't massive. In fact, it was free. He came on loan to Sunderland and then they brought him on a free transfer. I think he's a very good signing. He's only just joined the club by the looks of it as well. And then the final one is Liam Delap, who is still somehow at the club. He has to be a club legend, doesn't he? Liam Delap has to be a club legend at this point, with 107 goals for Reading. I'm just so pleased with how well he has done. We don't want that one, we want this one. So, club legends, we've got Trevor Senior, Martin Hicks, Steve Death, and Robin Friday. Not ideal. Phil Parkinson, Michael Gilks, Adrian Williams, and Liam Delap is an icon. Then we've got Carlos Pena and David Martinez, who is still at the club. He's also very good. Kind of annoyed my name's not on there. If I'm honest, I'm kind of annoyed my name is not on there. I should be an icon. I got this team from -4 points in League One to the Premier League in 5 seasons, and I'm not considered an icon. There's no managers there who are considered icons. Ridiculous. Anyway, that's going to do it for what is probably quite a short video, taking a look at Reading 5 years into the future, and I think they're okay. I think we turned them into a reasonable, self-sustaining club now that they have themselves a tycoon takeover as well. Who knows what the next 5 years will happen for Reading, but we're not going to take a look at that. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you in whatever I do next.